So 2020 rolls around and surprise, the world goes into lockdown. What did I do? Watch cartoons. But not just any cartoons. Oh no. I was deep into Amphibia, The Owl House, and The Ghost and Molly McGee. The Disney trifecta. I'm talking frogs, magic, and ghosts. But little did I know, this was just the appetizer before I dove into a deeper world called anime. During COVID, these shows were like my security blanket. And surviving this harsh world of talking frogs, Luz becoming a witch in her own quirky way, and Molly hanging out with ghosts. These were my people, okay? But like any good show, they all had to end eventually. Anne finally finds her way back home. Luz finally fights against Emperor Belos' second form. And the Ghost and Molly McGee, well, I just started feeling like I had seen everything, you know? But instead of sulking, I started thinking, is there something more out there? And oh boy, there was a lot more. So I turned to Pokemon Sun and Moon. Didn't know it was an anime at first. It looked like a cartoon, you know? Colorful, fun, and with the charm of Pokemon adventures. So I thought, why not? Let's give it a try. And I watched. And I watched some more. And then I kept watching. Lana, adorable. Naganado, the coolest dragon I have ever seen. And then I started watching Pokemon Journeys and I was like, oh my god, this is cool too. Like Lucario's so cool. Ash owning a Mega Lucario for the first time. Those were the good old days. And also seeing Onion for the first time in animation and not in the game. That's so cool. And I may or may not have spent over $100 on Pokemon cards. Don't judge me. It was a phase, okay? It was a phase. But that's when I realized something. Whenever I went to card shops around my area, I noticed this weird blue-haired girl named Rem all over the card shop, as well as a text that read ReZero. I was like, who is this girl and why is she everywhere? Of course, me being me, I had to find out. I looked up ReZero and I found a compilation called Rem's Cute Moments. And let me tell you, I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
未来のお話は笑いながらじゃなきゃダメなんですよ。でも子供たちが大きくなってスバルくんを邪険に扱うようなお年頃になってもレムはスバルくんの味方です。
But then I made a questionable decision. I watched all the episodes of ReZero, but only the parts with Rem in them. Yep, I skipped everything else. Subaru? Who's that? But somehow it didn't matter. Rem pulled me in and suddenly I was hooked on anime. After watching ReZero and meeting some of my friends after 2 long years of isolation, I asked them for some recommendations, and one of them said, why don't you try Konosuba? I was like, what's Konosuba?
我が力、我が刃、我が狂気、我が狂気をもて見解せよ。エクスはあ
But then I started to make the connection after watching a few episodes of Konosuba. I was like, wait a minute, this is basically Amphibia and the Owl House, but with way more explosions. The concept was the same. Ordinary people getting thrown into magical worlds where they can become their true selves or become better people. I was absolutely loving it. And then I realized this was cartoons, but for adults. Next thing you know, I'm diving into different worlds, like Overlord, where a guy turns into an all-powerful undead overlord. And then there's Saga of Tanya the Evil, where this celery man got reincarnated as a little girl and decides, you know what, I'm gonna fight in a war. And he literally just obliterates all his enemies by shooting literal nukes coming out from her tiny gun. So yeah, here we are in 2025, and I went from watching Disney cartoons to diving deep into anime. Who would have thought that ReZero would be my gateway anime into this world that I never knew existed? But honestly, it was the best thing that could ever happen. Cartoons and anime, turns out they're just two sides of the same coin. Both offer these wild adventures, emotional roller coasters, and characters that make you laugh, cry, and question about your life choices. And honestly, both still have a place in my heart. Thanks, pandemic, for giving me all the time to discover it all. I gotta ask, did the pandemic turn you into an anime fan too? Or maybe you were already there and I'm just a little late to the party. Let me know in the comments, and I'm curious how many people found themselves in this same anime rabbit hole. And hey, if you haven't jumped into anime yet, what are you doing? Start with Rem, you'll thank me later. And with that, thank you all for watching and have a good one.